Good Sunday evening, option traders. This is Sam the Trader Geek with your weekly options trade review. Hope you're having a great weekend, and I want to thank those of you who took the time to give some feedback on the videos. I take every comment to heart, and I will start incorporating them into future videos starting tonight to figure out some other stuff. But for right now, I appreciate any feedback. And if you haven't given any, look for my comments on Friday to see if you can provide any feedback to help make these videos more useful and make you want to watch them. Anyway, let's take a look at our trades. Not much changed since the last video on Wednesday, but we can see that after hitting, we take AMAT, after hitting the 200-day and backing off, we've had a couple of days where it's holding the 8 EMA. That's what this yellow line is. This purple line is the 100 EMA. The green line is the 21 EMA. Blue line is the 50, and this red line is the 200. What you're seeing here in these red dots, that's what's called a parabolic stop and reverse. This is a volatility stop, and I use it on a closing basis. So on a daily chart or whatever time frame you're looking at, if we close below that parabolic stop and reverse volatility stop, then that's a signal that we might be heading for a trend change. And generally, it can be used as a stop in your own trading. What we see here in the blue dots are the ATR trailing stops. It's a different kind of stop, and it's a bit wider than the parabolic stop and reverse. But again, this takes into account the volatility in the stock, and above the blue line, it's kind of bullish, and below the purple dots you see here, it's somewhat bearish. So once it closes below or above these dots, it can be a signal to go long or to go short. And that's how I kind of use these to kind of give me more reinforcement to either the trend changing, or I should either stop out in the stock. And I do use these on a closing basis, not on an intraday basis. That's how they're best used. Anyway, enough of that. We can see on the weekly, the 200-day moving average kind of corresponds to the 50-week moving average, oddly enough, and couldn't get through it. We were hoping to get to $16 on our next price target. We've taken 5 of them. I imagine that the news about DeepSeek AI this weekend out of China will take the air out of some of the semiconductor stocks tomorrow, Monday. So shows us at last at $8. So we're already given back, but we also have a nice profit on this, 179.17%. So we probably will look to close this out. We paid $2.88, and it has about, let's say, 26 days to go to expiration. Moving on to Amazon, another all-time high on Friday, and we have taken 3 profit targets on this one. The last one, 11.65. It closed at 13.26, and our next price target is at 14.25 here, and we paid 6.75 for these. So I imagine with the NASDAQ sell-off tonight that Amazon will be hit as well, but this has earnings not this week, but next week. So we will see a little bit of degradation in this trade for sure, but looks really good on the daily and on the weekly. Nothing to complain about. Solidly positive MACD. So everything looks good on Amazon. BABA finally busting a move on Friday and closing above the 50-day. That's a nice candle there on the daily. So above the 50-day, above the ATR trailing stop, above the a parabolic stop and reverse. So we just need to see follow through, which we haven't been seeing on the Chinese stock. And as Scott said in his video, you want to rent these Chinese stocks. You don't want to necessarily own them, at least not yet, until they start proving themselves. But this is getting better, although we're still, you can't take this 840% because we bought a call, we sold a put, and this is going to change very quickly if BABA shows any progress to the upside. And we can see that on the weekly basis, this MACD is trying to turn back up. So fingers crossed that we finally get some type of good move on Alibaba and we can make up for the last losing trade. Bloom Energy, another nice day on Friday. We took another profit target on this one, looking really good. So the two solid candles, positive MACD, and look at that weekly candle popping above resistance here, which was really nice to see. And our next profit target on here is going to be $4. Which is basically, say 4 times our cost in this structure. Have all the way out to May, gave it a lot of time. So perhaps we won't see the entire expansion that we want to see. It's a $10 wide strike. So we'll have to be patient with this one since it has so much time in it and it's jumping really nicely for us. BTU, kind of a bottom fishing trade that we have. We took one profit target on it. We're still close to that first profit target. Next profit target is $3.10. Had a nice move on Thursday, but Friday just sideways. Still going sideways. It looks like the MACD is turning up even further, which is nice. We ought to be able to see this get to the 2250, at least test the 50-day. You have an ATR trailing stop here at 2078, so close above that would be a good first step. It's under the 200-week moving average, this red line here, and below the 8-week moving average, which is not as meaningful. But Peabody and Coal is a kind of a theme name for me for 2025. I think coal will do well this year, and so we'll wait patiently for our next profit target at 310. CRM, as a few people in the forum have alluded to, it's really going slow and it's stuck under the 50-day. We still haven't taken our first profit target on this one. We paid $4 for the structure. We are profitable on it finally, but again, if tech is going to get hit on Monday, then this will get hit as well. And we may not see our first profit target for a few days if CRM is going to be positive as it looks like. So this is a March structure, so plenty of time on it. Not a lot to worry about. And we have starting to look positive on the weekly as well. We just need to get over that 50-day, and then we have an ATR trailing stop at about, let's call it 346. On Caesar, we have a put sale, and that's a put in March. We're up about 17%. You can see that we've lifted off the bottom, and now we're going to contend with the blue line here, the 50-day, and the ATR trailing stop is there. If we can hurdle the 50-day, then should have a clear path to at least a 200-day. But this is a put sale in March, kind of a slow moving turtle, if you will. And we'll take that because it's basically, we're not spending premium on time here. We're just the opposite. We're hoping that it does go sideways to up so that we can make some money off the short put. Delta Airlines, similar situation, but this has come in from an all-time high. Was 2 cents shy of $70. MACD still positive, but looking like it wants to curl over. And we're holding the 8 EMA on the weekly chart. You can see a topping tail here. So that could be a sign of a coming pullback. But this is a February put with 26 days to go, and it's all the way down at the 62.5 level. If we get down there, that means that we've closed below the 50-day and this ATR trailing stop, and that means that we may have been too early on this thing. So, but lots of time and lots of room for this to still be right. So I'm not terribly concerned about this. In fact, I'm not concerned about it at all. FXI, we can see that on the strength of Chinese stocks, we're finally up 76%. We sold this one for 67 cents and it's down to 16 cents. Our target is to get to a nickel, and maybe we try this again. It's been a long road on this. When did we put this on? Don't have the date handy here, or do I? Yeah, open 12/16. So we've been in this for about 5 weeks now, so not too bad. GDX, our bullish play, a longer term play on GDX. Gold has been strong. And so far, we haven't hit our first profit. However, we came very close on Friday. In fact, it's possible that we might have hit it, but in any case, we paid 50 cents for this. We're looking for a double. If you got your double on Friday, congratulations. We did hit the 100-day moving average. This is not a exponential, and we're above all the moving average except the 100 here. And gold miners are looking good, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks up. So I wouldn't be surprised to see this take a break and pull back a little bit. There's been a little bit of dare I say excessive bullishness on gold of late to go to a new all-time high, and when everybody's expecting something to do one thing, it often does the opposite. GRAB, grab, not doing terribly good and not terribly bad. So it hasn't made a new low, but it certainly has zero momentum. Here's a parabolic stop and reverse right there at about $4.70. So if we can hurdle that and close above $4.70, we can get up to the 50-day or the ATR trailing stop at 504. Boy, that would be nice, and would get us to attack the upper high and probably put us in a profit zone. But we'll just watch and see this. This was kind of a speculation, and we paid 70 cents for the call. It has until April, so lots and lots of time. But obviously, time is money here, and we're not making any of it on this particular play. Now here's Intel, which seemed to try to get above the 50-day, and that's the 100-day, the purple line, but not quite making it. It was down 3.43% on Friday. Just no lift in this whatsoever. They're still not coming back to this, and maybe they're waiting for earnings, and earnings are this week, and chances are we will take off this play and probably put on a different one. If they report something on earnings, I want to be in a different structure or a different play ahead of earnings in case they report something and this thing screams higher. But on the other hand, I don't want to lose all the premium if it goes the other way, and we have a 25-30 call spread. So let's take a look at that 25-30, and you can see here, yeah, I mean, we really have to replace this structure because we're so far out of the money. We're never gonna make any money unless this jumps to above 25 on earnings. And what we're seeing is a weekly expected move of about $3, and on earnings it looks like about $1.53. Make sure I got that earnings date right. Yeah, on the 30th, after market. So that's Thursday, reporting along with Apple that evening. So probably will replace this structure with something out in April or something like that to give us more time and room to be right. J&J, let's see that one. Let's go back to the chart. Starting to look constructive. It looked really good on earnings, or at least pre-market, and then went down and came back up. So it's bouncing back, still below the 50-day, below the ATR trailing stop. So needs to get in gear. And we have taken 2 profit targets on it, but this goes all the way out to April. I think we can at least make it up to the 200-day, which would give us at least a quadruple, if not quintuple. Is that 6 times? We'll see. But J&J starting to look a little bit better since earnings. NVIDIA will definitely be hit tomorrow. We have our covered call on here. I closed at 142. Wouldn't be surprised to see this down $4 or $5 tomorrow if the market opens weak, as I expect it to, based on this AI news out of China. In any case, this is a full covered call, and we have it at the 140 strike, so we don't have a lot of risk here, and we've been doing this for 3 months so far. We are, sorry about that, up about 7.59%, and the max gain on this when we started out in December was going to be 5%. So we're over that 5%. And this one's turning out to be a nice covered call. Kind of in the same camp as Intel, PFE just can't catch a consistent bid. They've got earnings coming up soon. When is their earnings? So it's not this week, it's next week on the 4th of February. So hopefully we can get some movement out of here. We got a parabolic stop and reverse on this. We need a close over 26.92. It's also under the 21-day, so we need to get above that, but we just keep meandering sideways, and maybe it waits till after earnings to kind of declare a direction for PFE. But this is another one where we have a March call, and we're down 28%. I might move it out to April to give us more time, because the March options will be more sensitive to the earnings movement, and I want to avoid the volatility collapse that comes with near-dated options on earnings. PLTR, we have 2 plays on this. In fact, we should have been, yeah, we're out of this one. Actually, this put should have been closed on Friday. The last was 4 cents. So I'm going to close this one out if you haven't. This January 65.55 put spread. I'm surprised I thought I marked this close, but in any case, this put spread will be closed after I finish this video. I'm going to close this one out. And if you haven't closed out your put spreads, this one is done. This has earnings coming up, not this week, but next week on the 3rd after market. And we have also this call spread, which is 75, 100. And we collected 2 profit targets. We're looking for 12 on the next one. We might not get it before earnings. We shall see if it shows any strength. You can see here at the ATR trailing stop, we show a topping tail on this particular candle. So it was a nice run up to the 70. What did we get to on Friday? 82.74 before pulling back and basically breaking even on the day. So it was up nicely on Friday, but kind of broke even in the end. You can see here on the weekly, we broke down below the 8 weekly and then right back up. We have a parabolic stop and reverse right around 82, 87. But again, with the weakness that I'm seeing pre-market um, on Sunday night, we may not get that anytime soon. SLV, we are down to 11 cents on this put. We have already rolled it once from February to March. So this is working out really nicely. Our actually, yeah, we closed out on the first round 11 cents, and now we're up 41% on these. So we sold it for 99. It's now at 58 cents. So a lot of sideways movement on silver. Um, what we like to see when we sell a put, it's above the 50-day. So can't complain about that at all. So let me get rid of that so we get the right chart. There we go. All right, SPY. This is our big winner, and we're definitely going to give some back on this one. We took our next profit target here. You can see we've got a lot of profit targets. Probably should have closed this out by now. And we can see here we had a new all-time high on Friday. And wow, it's been a nice play. The timing was perfect. Sometimes you just get lucky. Up 609.62%. The back ratio is a nice go-to strategy when things get a little stretched to one side and you want to take advantage of the snapback at little and no risk, which we did. So I'm gonna watch this one the next couple of days, see if we need to just close this out. I think that with the weakness tonight, we'll see a bit of a give back on the rest of these if you're still holding any. And if you are, congratulations, you've held out this far. That's pretty good. TLT, this is the long bond. We have a vertical at the 85.90 level. We took one profit target. Our next one is at 350. And if the bonds overnight are any indication, we should see progress towards our next profit target. We need this above the 88 level so it can go and tackle this 50-day moving average at 89.58. I think bonds are going to have a better time than most people think over the next month or so. And yields are not going to be as strong as they have been. Just a guess on my part, just a feel. But we definitely on the weekly need to see more strength than we're seeing. But so far it's constructive. We haven't violated this 84.89 low that we made on the 14th of January, and that's a positive thing. If we get over the screen line of 21 EMA and eventually 88, then we could be in great shape again. We also sold a put in March, the 82s, which is far below any of the recent lows. And we're up 45% on this. So looking good, looking to exit them for a nickel. Since we sold this for 75 cents, if you if you have a lot of units, I would probably be closing some of them out. But yeah, the TLT looking pretty good. Tesla also looking good, but again, with the weakness, we might not quite get to the 26th level here. And we do have earnings this week, so we will be closing this out ahead of earnings. And unfortunately, if tonight's weakness persists, then it will be closed out for less than the 21 that we saw on Friday. But we have taken some nice profit targets on this so far. URA kind of hitting a little bit of a top on Friday and backing off. And let's see, have we taken, no, we haven't taken any profit targets on here. We paid 215, close at 247. I know some of you have taken profit targets out of this one early, which is good. And we're looking for 3.25 on this and hoping that uranium is another positive theme for 2025. And yeah, looking good. Weekly is looking good. There's a parabolic stop and reverse at 31.96. So we hope that this one will get in there. We have a 3350. I've got an alert up here, which would be a new high for this instrument. Uranium looking good for 2025. And that's all I have for you for this video. If you have any questions for me, at Trader Geek Sam in the forum or at Trader Geek on Twitter. Hope you have a good evening and a great trading week ahead. And I will see you in the next video on Wednesday. Take care and bye-bye.